Welcome, one and all, to the newest episode of Dragon Quest Papi Podcast. This is episode 24. I'm pretty dang sure it is. I always forget right when I'm starting to record. But, guys, today I have a guest with me. Mr. Guest, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Well, you said please, so I guess I can, introduce myself.
Appreciate it.
I usually go by Bundles of Monkeys. That's typically how I'm known. Big Dragon Quest fan for probably too long.
Oh.
But I love it, I love it. What can I say? I can't say everyone else loves, listening to me talk about it, but if you have a love, you gotta spread it.
This is true. That's why we're here, where we can talk about it and not feel bad about it and not annoy our real, life friends and family. You know what I mean?
Right. This is like our little safe space.
Exactly. That's funny, bro. I also should mention to everyone, this voice you're hearing, Bundles of Monkeys, is the man, the myth, and the legend, the guild master of Los Papitos on Dragon Quest Tact.
Oh man, I appreciate that. Yeah, I need to pick up the slack. I'll be honest, I've been slacking this week.
Bro, I saw today that it's been like 5 days since you logged on, bro.
Alright, yeah, things have been a little busy,
Yeah.
It's tough being
I
a
get
master.
I get Dude, I know. I feel you, bro. Don't worry, dude. I'm just saying this to motivate you, to motivate us, bro. I'm just saying we just feel that absence. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. I've been a naughty guild leader, and I will get my act together.
Appreciate that. That's what's up, bro. Yeah, man. So you mentioned. So before we get into the main topic, everyone already obviously knows what it is. You clicked on the video. You should know. If you don't know, though, we're going to be talking about basically all of the final bosses of all the Dragon Quest games. And we will include, a couple of different final bosses depending on the game. For example, Dragon Quest II, Hargon and Malroth are both technically final bosses, so we're going to include them onto this list. But we're going to kind of review, them, what we like about them, what we thought about the fights, stuff like that. So, but before we get into the main topic, let's get to know Mr. Bundles of Monkeys a little bit. You did mention you're a longtime fan. Do you mind me asking how long? When did you find the series? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I don't mind at all. It's a funny story. I was probably back in middle school or something.
Oh wow.
Something like that, and my buddy, Dragon Warrior Monsters,
Uh-huh.
the Game Boy game.
Oh, Caravan Hearts?
Do what?
Caravan Hearts? Or
No. Dragon Warrior Monsters.
Oh, okay. Because you always talk about Caravan Hearts on live stream.
I do love Caravan Hearts.
Respect.
You gotta try it.
Okay.
But, I was at school one day, and my buddy he had Dragon Warrior Monsters, and he was talking it up to me, telling me all about it, and I was like, man, that sounds like a ripoff of Pokemon. He was like, no, you'll love it, man.
That's cool.
He wanted me to trade some other Game Boy game I had, which I was like, man, yeah, I'll trade it. I was like, I've beaten this game too many times. I'll play your little knockoff Pokemon. Oh, man. If only he knew. Love
The deal of the century right there.
Yes, I ripped him off. For sure.
Do you remember what game you traded him, or?
I think it was some old X-Men Game Boy game.
Oh, okay. So you definitely won.
Yeah, it was bad.
That's
and
funny.
So I got that, and I fell in love. And,
That's awesome.
I kind of forgot about the series for a while after that.
Okay.
Because it was Dragon Warrior back then, and
Right.
I changed it to Dragon Quest. Quest. So I kind of lost track of it, because I was dealing with school and everything. I was
Yeah.
pretty young. And eventually, another buddy of mine, some years down the road, he had mentioned it to me, and I was like, that kind of reminds me of this game I used to play, Dragon Warrior. He was like, oh, it's the same thing, man. And so that kind of got me back into it, and I started, catching up on the games and everything. And ever since then, I kind of lucked out, because sometime after that was when they started, re-releasing the games,
Right.
like 3DS and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
So I lucked out, and I've luckily played all of them except for 10 of the main series. And I've
There you
played
go.
most of the side games.
Oh, cool. Nice, man. Dude, that's what's up.
So if you want to call me a master or something, I'd appreciate it.
Well, you are the guild master, so you do have master in the title.
True.
Dude, that's what's up. Uh-huh.
I appreciate it. But yeah, that's mostly it. It's back in the day, so it's been going on about 20-something years or so.
Respect. Dude, that's what's up. Yeah, man. Yeah, I always like to talk to actual OG, Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior fans, because, I didn't, know about it at all. I accidentally played, a knockoff version of Dragon Quest when I was a kid, and I didn't even...
Really?
Yeah, literally, I remember playing, a fan-made game of... It was basically Dragon Quest 1, but it was literally a little dragon with a sword and a shield, walking around, getting out of his town, walking around the map, same graphics as one, and fighting monsters, turn-based. Eventually you go into some cave, and then there's a Mewtwo monster in the cave. So it was a mix of Dragon Quest and Pokemon, but that was the first experience I had with it, and I think it was called Dragon Warrior because legit you were playing as a Dragon Warrior.
I mean, yeah.
So, but I remember I got this CD from this kid's dad that did stuff like this or whatever, and I remember I played quite a bit of it, and I was like, hey, this is pretty sweet. So that's kind of my unofficial first Dragon Quest game. So it's really interesting, but
That's crazy. What
I
was
know.
this on? A PlayStation?
Oh no, this was I don't even think it was a CD. I think it was a USB or something. I mean, bro, this was it might have been a floppy disk, bro. This was
Oh my god.
I was definitely in middle school, but yeah, I remember the funny thing is I totally forgot about this whole thing until a couple months ago, where I was thinking about my origins of Dragon Quest, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I totally remembered this game, and I was like, this is I literally played Dragon Quest 1, but a knockoff version of it. So
Man, that guy, whoever he was, that's cool of him, but I wouldn't have trusted just some random floppy disk.
I agree. I mean, I was a kid, so
Yeah. Chalk it up to that.
yeah.
It's all right.
So anyway, that's funny, bro. But yeah, dude, that's cool, man. So out of all the games, it sounds like again you're a master of the dragons and the questing. What's your favorite one out of all of them? And you can't say Caravan Hearts. I'm just kidding.
I'll say honestly, it's got to be Dragon Quest 11.
Yeah.
It hit every note. Each game has certain aspects that I really love.
Right.
And there's certain things that might be missing from the previous game or the next game. But Dragon Quest 11, I felt like they really just put it all together and made the perfect recipe. It's beautiful, it's fun, it's got a great story, the characters are awesome, it's memorable, and it's something that you can keep playing after you've already, beat the main story. It's something, you're like, well, I still got a lot to do, so I should, go out there and keep playing.
Dude.
So I'd say they really hit the mark on that one, to be honest.
Dude, I 100% agree. I mean, I'm assuming you already know, but that's definitely my choice as well. And you basically hit the nail on the head. I mean, the game is literally it's like a love letter made from Dragon Quest to Dragon Quest. Like, it's so good. It's just so good. I love it.
So right. And honestly, if Dragon Quest 12 is better than 11, I might have a heart attack.
Dude. Bro, the thing is, it's like I literally can't even imagine 12 at all as of right now.
No,
I mean,
so,
yeah.
It's like a myth.
Literally, it just feels like something that doesn't exist yet. Like, well, I mean, it technically, it does. We don't know anything about it, but yeah. So that's what's up.
When do you think it'll be released? Like, what year? You think 2025?
Listen, if Infinity Strash is barely getting released this fall, I'm thinking 2D HD Remake is getting released next year, and maybe around spring, maybe later parts of the year. If that's the case, 12 is coming out 2025, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, and it kind of breaks my heart, honestly.
Yeah. At the same time, I mean, and I've talked about this before, but obviously it sucks the lack of information, the lack of just care that Square Enix seems to give to us, the consumers, the fans.
Right.
But at the same time, I prefer for them to be fully ready to show us whatever they want to show us. Like, I like, instead of getting like they show us something and then like, oh, you know what, that wasn't it, that wasn't correct, blah blah blah, or it takes way longer to actually release because of difficulties here, difficulties there. Like, I prefer to get a really good product, wait longer to get a really good product instead of getting like a half-assed product, if that makes sense. So anyway, it might mean a little bit, more crying and yelling and all that about it, but still.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. If they gotta take the time on it, then that's fine by me, because I know it'll be great.
Yeah.
It has to be.
I mean, all the games have been great so far, right? So.
Yeah, I'll be honest, the only one I did not look forward to ever playing was DQ1, and I still love that one. Because, it was the first one, so I knew it was going to be kind of...
Right.
Kind of rough around the edges. But,
oh, yeah.
I'll be honest, I loved it.
Dude, that's awesome. What version did you play when you played it?
I have it... what do I have it on? Do I have that one on the Game Boy?
Oh, respect.
I think maybe on the Game Boy. I've played it a few times.
Nice.
But I think the Game Boy. I didn't play it on the NES or nothing like that. I'm not that old yet.
Dude, that's what's up.
Wrong. I played the NES back in the day, but I'm not old enough to where I was, a grown man, back
Gotcha. I feel you. That's what's up. No, yeah. Yeah, the first version I played of Dragon Quest 1 was on mobile, but just because it was the easiest one to get, so at the time. So, but yeah, but I've also played Dragon Warrior on the Game Boy Color, and I loved it. So.
Nice. Yeah, the Game Boy, it's nice, but I'll say the phone's definitely better. The Game Boy, you gotta be standing in some nice light to see that screen.
Oh well, I guess I played it on a Game Boy Advance SP, so I had my light, bro. I had the built-in light and everything, bro. Yeah. You know how we do here, baby.
Jeff Bezos over here, get the fancy stuff.
Exactly, bro. Exactly, dude.
Nice. I respect that.
Thank you. Cool, man. And so, I ask all my guests this question, but I already know the answer, but that's okay. Maybe the majority of the listeners don't. So, Bianca, Nera, or Deborah?
Okay. I'll tell you my answers, and I'll give my explanation. Of what I think is, they're all, pretty cool. I like them all. So let me start with Nira.
Okay.
Nira is very pretty. I find her a very pretty character, and she's very sweet. Like, if I were to find a woman in real life, I'd be like, I'd like someone like Nira. But
Agreed.
the thing is, I feel bad because Nira, she has Crispin, and it's like, I can't do my boy Crispin like that. He's not a hero. He's just some small town chump. I was like, he needs a beautiful lady like Nira. I was like, I can have whomever. I'm me. I'm pretty much the main hero.
Yeah.
Son. So,
Yeah.
It's, I got opportunities. Little Crispin, he doesn't. So it's like, yeah, I'll give you Nira, and I guess I can fight it between, Deborah and Bianca.
Okay.
And as for Deborah, very pretty. I'll say she's the best looking.
Okay.
I like her character arc. She has a great arc. 'Cause at first you hate her, and then by the end of the game you're like, wow, she's really sweet. She has a very soft side to her.
Interesting.
And so I do like her a lot, and she doesn't have anyone else, so I feel a little bad. I kind of want to, be with her.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, Bianca, she's got it all. She's on Track Quest 11, She hits all the marks.
Interesting.
She's good looking. She's an awesome chick. She hung out with you when you were a little kid who couldn't read a sign. She's been there for you when things got tough. So, it's like, I respect all of them. At the end of the day, I have to go with Bianca.
You know what? I've never heard a more well thought out explanation to your choice. And honestly, you almost make me second guess myself but at the same time, I'm like, you know what, Crispin, you can just go find yourself a dog or something. But Nina's my baby girl, bro. So get out of here. Move to another town.
Yeah, that's the dark timeline. Poor Crispin. He's just trying to be a good lad.
Oh, poor Crispin, man. That is funny, dude. That's funny. But no, that's a solid choice. It's funny too, because I 100% agree with you with Neda. You'd want a woman like that, right? Just that loves the poop out of you, and just you just feel like she would never get angry at you, But it's funny because I always choose Neda, in terms of being the best waifu, but my wife in real life probably more resembles Deborah.
I was about to ask.
And I don't mean to speak ill on my wife, but and the thing is, I've never chosen Bianca or Deborah in a playthrough, but from what I hear from what people say, my wife is very, she's kind of mean, which is a Latina thing. Latinas, bro, oof. And I don't know if you know or not, but Latinas are the nicest people and the meanest people at the same time.
No, you're right. I've been with some Latinas.
Yeah.
I'll say I've had some good times and I've had some spicy times.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's funny because I always say that I prefer Neda, but again, my wife more resembles Bianca or Deborah, honestly. But so it's kind of funny, but
that's
whatever.
Really what you need,
honestly, yeah. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. That's so funny. Yeah, bro. Okay, well, anyways, I think we've had a really good introduction. I think we all got to know Mr. Bundles of Monkeys pretty well. If anyone has any other questions for him, please comment down below. But let's get into the main topic. So let's talk about these freaking bosses, bro. So,
Right? Yeah.
so obviously we're gonna start with Dragon Quest One,
Right.
and we got the
I
Dragon Lord.
Yeah. I suppose I'll let you start us off on that. On kind of what you think of Dragon Lord.
So,
On
uh huh.
just broad opinion.
Well, first things first. Honestly, I really like the Dragon Lord's design. Um,
His original, or when he turns into like the dragon.
the dragon design. The original design, it's not too bad. He does kind of look.
Goofy.
Yeah, I was literally gonna say that word, goofy. He kind of looks. Well, he actually, yes, he looks very goofy.
Yeah.
And so not the most menacing of evil, characters I've seen. um, but but the graphics, the kind of style that it is, it's catered, I feel like, to all ages. And especially being the first game, maybe they were trying to go for a more goofy final boss, at least the first phase of it. Which I guess anyways, but it's still an okay design. It's not horrible or anything, but definitely his dragon form is like super cool. I definitely like his dragon form. So, what do you think?
I definitely like his dragon form. The only thing I dislike about it is that his design has kind of been stolen from him, from his dragon design, by other characters since then. Oh, I don't know if you've noticed a couple characters that, of course there's a lot of dragons, Dragon Quest for nothing.
Right.
But
Yeah.
they've made some other dragons since then that kinda, resemble his dragon form, but look cooler.
That's a good point.
They've updated it, and so I of course love his dragon design, but
Right.
they've since,
Made cooler looking ones.
outdated.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, and off the top of my head, I just remember what's the Lord of the Dragovians?
Yes, that's who I had in my mind.
Okay. Yeah.
Because he goes through like those 10 different, dragon
Uh-huh.
forms, and yeah, he resembles the Dragon Lord a lot. And there's a couple other characters along the games that kind of take a lot of inspiration from his dragon design.
Right. Yep.
But to be honest, I know his original form is goofy, and I'll tell anybody that it looks like it looks a little odd for a main villain, not what you'd expect. But
Yeah.
I like it. When I see it, I'm like, man, that's the Dragon Lord. Like, he's someone you don't just mess with because he's smart.
Yeah.
He didn't just like attack the towns and everything. He stole their hope.
That's a good point.
The orb of light. He took the princess. He was moralizing everyone. And so I respect him for that. I think he's a clever guy. He's super powerful.
Right.
But I respect him. For being the first one, he's a pretty good boss, to be honest. Not terribly hard.
Right.
But he's clever.
Yeah. No, I think he fits perfect in that world, right? In Dragon Quest One, him being the final boss, with the technology that there was back then, the game for what it was, the progression sort of system behind the game itself, like him being the final boss. I think everything just kind of, just works well, sort of thing. But yeah. That's basically it for me with the Dragon Lord. So
Yeah, that's about it for me on the Dragon Lord. Like I said, he's cool enough, but overall, he had a good presence on the game.
Yes.
Like you had heard of him throughout the game. Other characters mentioned him.
Right.
You could see the effects of his tyranny.
Yeah.
You could see how he was affecting everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it was good. He for a first game, that's a solid start.
Oh yeah.
A lot of games can't even live up to that nowadays. So
it's true.
They nailed it. They definitely did good.
It's true, and I think I don't know if it counts or not, but I think Dragon Quest Builders, the first one, kind of paints a really good picture of like the actual tyranny that was like
Yes.
that he caused, you know. Um,
Yeah, you're right about that. You hadn't played it, right? Or have you?
so I'm with Builders One. I am currently in the third chapter. I think I'm probably like 70 or 80% done with the third chapter, the third
Oh, okay, so
world.
you're pretty far along then, for the
Yeah,
most part.
yeah.
But yeah, you're dead on the money with that Dragon Lord and that one, because you know in the old one and Dragon Quest One, it's an older game, so you can't see as many details of how it's affecting the world.
Right,
The DQ Builders One, it kind of lets you see as like a regular person, like how he's affected everything.
right.
And so for that, he definitely has goals.
Yeah.
They might not be good goals, but he definitely he's a smart villain. I'll give him that. He's pretty clever.
No, yeah, for sure. He did a good job as the first, final boss in the game,
Yes, and especially back then, people were not expecting him to then turn into a dragon.
Yes.
Be his first form. So yeah, Dragon Quest. I give you my props to that. You did good.
Same here. Amen. There you go, man. Anything else on the Dragon Lord, or should we move on?
Nah, I think he's all wrapped up.
He's all wrapped up, and let's move on to Hagorn and Malroth.
Perfect.
So,
Start us off.
okay, Mr. Hargon. So, the DQ2, I really enjoy the goofiness of the game. And especially Hargon himself. I just, well, it's funny too because when you run into the Dragon Lord in this game, spoiler alert if you didn't know that. Yeah, it's like the grandson, and he basically tells you like, man, this Hargon guy is a real turd, man. He claims he's like the like the strongest dude, like man, yeah, and the Dragon Lord's kind of complaining about him. He's like, and basically just gives you his blessing to take him out. So it's pretty funny, but I love when you first go into Hargon's like actual castle, and like it's literally like he's pretending it's your castle. He makes this illusion. It's pretending it's your castle, and then it's your dad with 3 bunny girls, and they're just like, putting on a show for him. They're partying, and his dad, wink, wink, is saying like, "Oh, Hargon's a great guy. What do you guys? You guys can just chill. Like, don't even worry about it. Like, Hargon's awesome. Like, let's just all relax. Like, I just think it's so funny that he thought that was actually gonna work. Like,
I mean, it would have worked on me.
I just can't imagine me walking into my father's throne room, seeing 3 bunny women chilling with him, and taking him seriously. It's like,
I'd probably say it's an upgrade. The usual stuffy nobles.
this is true.
A few bunny ladies in here.
Gotta love the bunny ladies. But yeah, I just love that sense of humor behind it. It's so Dragon Quest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then in terms of like the actual character, again, I think he was a fine final boss. I think he did a good job in being kind of like the first wave, the first phase of the actual fight. But yeah, I mean, overall, I really like Hargon. I like his goofiness, his silliness. His design is very similar to the Dragon Lord.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know if maybe Hargon kind of like, I think of this kind of as like Hargon himself, sort of like, oh, maybe he thought the Dragon Lord looked cool, and so he kind of, wore his same outfit or whatever. But basically, I do enjoy Hargon quite a bit, so yeah. In terms of like the story behind him, right?
Right. Yeah, that's understandable. He's pretty awesome. I mean, not in a bad way.
Yep.
He killed, all the people in Moonbrook.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Brutally.
So he's a pretty rough character. He definitely wants to kill everyone, and I guess I respect that. He has a goal. He's trying to live up to it. And and even when you beat him, it's you think like, this is it. I beat Hargon. This little character who's been causing all this mischief. And then, little Hargon is, religion. He's like, I'm going to sacrifice myself. So, here you go. Another battle for you. So, I respect him for being real religious. Whatever that religion you want to call it. But,
that cult.
Yeah, not the best religion, but he's a cool character. He's interesting.
Yeah.
I hated him in the game, because he was just causing too much tyranny.
Yeah.
Killing all the people in Moonbrook. Come on, that's my fam.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Plus, he turned your freaking cuzzo into a doggo. And, which again, to me, it's kind of funny, Like, I'm not saying it's like hilarious, because obviously it sucks, all the tyranny, all the death he caused, but like, it's just funny that he thought of doing that, like, it's almost like he's taking all of it like a joke,
No, you actually raised a good point. I kind of never thought of that, that he kind of just sees it as a joke, because I mean, if you had someone who's a descendant of, the hero, why not kill him? Why turn him into a dog, unless you're so just confident in your plan and just so trolling, So he's a big troll.
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's a good word for it. He's basically just a huge troll, super confident in his abilities and just, causing tyranny, but at the same time feels untouchable and just, I don't know.
And I'm not sure if you played Dragon Quest Builders 2, but
no.
That kind of it's a sequel pretty much to Dragon Quest 2.
Oh, I didn't know it was a sequel. I know a little bit of the story, but interesting.
Yeah, because Dragon Builders 1 is like an alternate reality of if you would said no to the Dragon Lord.
Right.
But Dragon Builders 2 is just like a sequel. It's, it
interesting.
takes place, shortly after the end of Dragon Quest 2. So it's very interesting. It helps give a little more lore and everything, because they do mention, Hargon and Malroth and the heroes and stuff.
Interesting.
So for anyone that, really likes the Erdtrich, trilogy, or, well, a little more than a trilogy now. But, anyone that likes that, stuff, they should definitely check out Dragon Quest Builders 2, because it really shows a lot of things, that you don't see in the older games.
I will say you definitely piqued my interest in actually playing the game, because I want to play the game, I really do, but I really want to beat Builders 1 before I play Builders 2. But I think this kind of incentivized me to really to hurry up and get there, sort of thing.
You definitely should, because Builders 1, great game, of course.
Right.
I've got nothing bad really to say about it, but Builders 2 just blows it out of the water. It feels just so much better, and even though it's, kind of like a sequel to Dragon Quest 2, which is one of the lower rated games.
Right.
Not to me. I love Dragon Quest 2.
Oh yeah, same.
A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's just, people definitely need to check that out if they're interested in that sort of stuff.
Dude, yeah.
Including you, of course.
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, like I said, you've definitely made me want to hurry up and get there, so I'm going to do it.
Good.
I'm going to do it. Oh, yeah. There you go, bro. Yeah, man, so there you go, Any other thoughts on Hargon, Mr. Monkey?
No, not too much. Like you said earlier, he's kind of goofy looking, like
yeah.
So, their design.
Maybe less goofy than the Dragon Lord, but still still goofy.
I don't know. I always thought Argon like looked a little goofier.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay.
His little portrait, he's like kind of like squatted down. He's in the robe and everything. It's like, what is this? Like a preacher lad?
He's
Like,
just.
if I want to see that, I'll go to church. All right.
That's freaking funny. Yeah, he's just a goofball. I think out of all the freaking final bosses, he's probably the goofiest in terms of his personality.
Yeah. He's such a massive troll.
Yeah.
But, props to him.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to win.
Yeah. Yep, he was confident. That's funny. Which is what you need, really. To be a final boss is what you need.
Yeah, I mean, if you go up show up to the heroes, whatever, like, oh, they're about to beat me. Then, yeah, they're probably about to beat you. But if you show up with a little confidence, maybe you'll beat them once or twice.
Yeah.
Reload.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's true, bro. It's true. But yeah, there you go. So what about Malroth?
Ooh.
Good old Malroth.
You want to start us off on Malroth? Or should
Sure.
I?
Go for it. Go for it.
Well, I will say this. Malroth is tough. Is very tough. And I'm not talking like the old version, where he could just heal himself up like it was nothing.
Yeah.
Even in the newer versions, Malroth is tough, especially because you're not really expecting it, because you just went through all these mini bosses. You fought Hargon. And at that point, you don't even know who Malroth is. You just think, it's Hargon. And then he's like, well, I'm actually just going to sacrifice myself. So here you go. Here's Malroth. Malroth is tough. I'll be honest, if you're not prepared for that fight, he's going to take you down.
Oh, yeah. Easy.
He's tough, and I like his design a lot, to be honest. I really think that was, like, their first, like, really super cool, like, monster design.
Yep, I agree.
Someone who looks like a true final boss. Like, yeah, I probably shouldn't mess with this guy.
Yeah. Isn't he regarded what is he, like the king of the god of destruction? Yeah. That's the word. Yeah.
That's a pretty big title. If you called me the god of destruction, I'd be like, all right, watch out, people.
Yeah.
I'm tough.
Seriously. And yeah, I definitely agree. His design is actually really cool. It definitely looks like a final boss. And yeah, even in the more recent versions, and again, I've played the mobile version and the Game Boy Color version, but he still heals himself, every now and then, which is a pain in the butt. And he hits like a truck. He can hit twice, and it just it hurts. And so if you're not ready for it, like you said, it's you got to go back to the grinding board, literally. So yeah, man. But
I will say this though, on Dragon Quest 2 on the newer versions, I believe the max level is 50. If you go in there, I've tried it before at like just what you'd normally get to level, and that's tough. But if you get to level 50, go in there, oh man, it's not too tough. I'll be honest.
So you've actually gone up to 50 and fought him?
Yeah.
Wow.
In all the games, I've actually maxed out all the character levels.
Whoa, respect.
And not saying I always fought the final boss, at that point.
Right.
I did that before I fought him at all the casts at level 50, and it wasn't too tough, to be honest. I was able to breeze through it pretty easy. But besides that, if you're just going normally, yeah, he's going to wreck your world.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, and I will say, for example, I've never been, like, for a final boss, I've never been over-leveled, but I do feel like the way I play games, I'm usually, a little bit, like, higher leveled than maybe the game wants you to be, if that makes sense. Like, or maybe not wants you to be, but expects you to be when you first run into the final boss. And so, to be honest, like, I might have even had to restart once or twice. I don't remember, honestly, but But it definitely wasn't like super crazy hard to fight Hargon and Malroth. But but still, it was still definitely a challenge. Definitely more than Dragon Quest 1. So
Yeah, I'd also just backtrack real quick. I'd fought Dragon Lord at max level 2, which is like 30 or something.
respect.
Super easy.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
takes like 30 seconds and you beat him.
Yep. Yep.
So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I never got to max level, but I think both playthroughs I was at level 20, and it wasn't very challenging as long as I was actually healing strategically, if that makes sense. So I was like,
Oh yes, you're right.
and so
You have to heal.
yeah, and so that's the only reason like I kind of like didn't have any issues with the Dragon Lord, just because I knew like, okay, I better heal. Okay, now I can attack. Let's heal again. Okay, now I can attack, sort of thing. So, but yeah, but being level 30, I can definitely see that being a cakewalk. So.
Yeah, you don't have to even heal. You literally go in, smack him around like he's a child or something. It's like, alright, game over.
A baby Dragon Lord.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So, I figured I'd just, let anyone know if they decide they want to over level.
Uh-huh.
About to walk into a cakewalk.
Yeah.
Simple.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that you've literally leveled up max level in all the games. That's cool. Respect.
I will say this, since we're about to get to a DQ3. That was the hardest to level everyone up. It took so long.
Really?
There's not enough, because in later games there's a lot of like liquid, metal slimes,
Yep.
easy to find,
Yep.
Stuff like that. In Dragon Quest 3, it's just so much harder to find a group of like metal slimes
Yep.
and stuff, and then they all love to run away at
Oh,
the first chance.
Classic.
It's very frustrating, to be honest.
Seriously. And well, honestly, I feel like that's the perfect segue into Dragon Quest 3. So
Well, you're definitely right on that. So you want to start us off on Zoma?
absolutely. So well, first things first, real quick. I do think it's cool that, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm blanking. What Barbados? What's Bartos?
Bartos.
The first final boss, wink wink.
When you at your world before you go to the
Yes.
world.
Oh my gosh, was it?
I'm blanking too.
Is it Barbados or is it Bartos?
What is his name?
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay, yeah, look. I can see his face, his ugly little mug.
Baramos.
There we go. Yeah,
Baramos.
I thought about adding him to our list, but
Yeah.
it's like, you still got a lot of game left after you beat him.
Yeah, which is fine, but I like that, when you find out I mean, maybe it wasn't that big of a surprise, but like he's just kind of like a pawn.
I'll be honest, I didn't know of, that it was like a prequel and everything.
Uh-huh.
That this wasn't the final boss, so when I beat him down, I was like, alright, perfect.
Uh-huh.
Awesome. And it's like, yeah, you thought that, didn't you?
Uh-huh. And then Zoma just annihilates everything.
Yes.
It's crazy.
That was a masterclass game.
Oh yeah, dude, absolutely. Such cool storytelling, because it's basically Dragon Quest 2 on steroids, in the sense of like, because you don't know about Malroth at all until you beat Hargon. It's the same thing here, where you don't know about Zoma until you beat Baramos, and then bam, he doesn't just show up. He like destroys everything. Then you have to go and look for him, and it's like, it's so cool. It's like a really cool way of doing it. But speaking of Zoma, classic, have a couple bosses before you fight him, and then you know, if you actually have the item, the ball of light,
You gotta have that.
yeah, you know, which it makes the fight a lot more doable. But it's cool that even you know, when you do use it, Zoma's kind of like, oh, okay, so you found out how to take my, you know, shield off. Well, that's not going to help you anyway. And you know, and he just ever confident in his abilities, which, you know, again, you should have as the final boss.
Yeah.
But definitely really cool design. Very different compared to the first two. He almost looks like a grown up Hargon in a way.
That's funny.
But yeah, but he's really cool. Very iconic look for sure. And then one thing I've never tested out because I didn't even know about it until a couple months ago when I spoke to somebody from Japan. But he was saying that the spell Merasoma, which is Kafriz, actually supposedly is like his a weak spell to against him.
You're probably right because I think his moves are ice based.
Okay.
I kind of recall, so that makes sense. I'm not sure if I'm recalling accurately.
Yeah, and so
I think his moves are like ice based.
yeah, and that would make sense as well. But yeah, I remember he mentioned it to me. This Japanese guest I had on. Shout out to Yuji. But he was saying that the spell Merasoma originated there. It was supposed to be kind of like a critical spell against Zoma. Merasoma, Zoma, and so really cool. But anyways, epic boss battle, epic boss in general, awesome design. You know, terrifying in Dragon Warrior 3 especially, like when he comes up to you before you fight the gauntlet of mini bosses, he just kind of like shows up and he's like, "Okay, you ready or what?" And then he just walks back to his, his chair, and then yeah, it's just cool. It's all really cool. So
I completely agree with you about Zoma. He's one of my favorite bosses, to be honest.
cool.
Just, the things like he managed to take over pretty much 2 worlds, you know. And
Huh? Good point.
I don't think any other boss had really ever taken over 2 worlds. You know, he took over the Dark World, or whatever, casted darkness. Then he had what was that guy's name? Bramos or
Baramos, yeah.
he had him, you know, as like his underling,
Right.
just like a general. Like,
Yep.
okay, here, go take over this other world for me, you know. And it kind of shows you like Zoma's pretty powerful if you can just like tell some other like demon creature to be like, all right, go conquer this other world for me, and he almost does for me. So it shows you like his scale of power is massive.
Yeah.
You know, it's incredibly strong. He destroyed the Sword of Light. Cast a world of darkness. He almost took over a second world. And even when you manage to finally put him down, he laughs at you and tells you there will come more. You know, it's like it's not over. Your ancestors, they're gonna, not your ancestors, your descendants. They're gonna have to deal with, you know, even more. And he was like, and you won't even be there. You'll already be dead by then. So he's, you know, he's a very like frightening boss. He puts a fear in you as in someone who's like, even if you won this time, your you know, your grandchildren win. You know, it's if someone told me that after I went through losing my dad, all this and everything, I would be an emotional wreck. I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, I went through all this, can't even go back home, and now this guy, he's probably gonna stir up something in the future. I have to deal with some other nonsense, or my grandkids will.
Yep.
So Zoma, I definitely respect him. Out of, you know, the ones we've discussed so far, Zoma is a top dog.
Oh yeah.
You know, he's not someone to mess with. He'll do you in, and he's super cool design, to be honest. Little, kind of looks like I don't know, like some zombie sorcerer type thing.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
I like him. I like Malrot's design a little more, but
Yeah.
Zoma I like more as a character.
Yep.
He's very very cool.
Absolutely, yeah. No, and I think you hit the hail on the nail, hit the nail on the head. With I think maybe Zoma just has like more of an actual like demon king, Lord God like vibe or personality. Where Dragon Lord is a little goofy, Hargon is very goofy, Malroth doesn't really have a personality. Zoma is like actual evil, like crazy evil monster sort of thing. And so definitely a cool point you brought up there.
I definitely agree with you. He's definitely super cool, but considering how cool he is, it's a shame that he's not the hardest boss in DQ3.
Look at you and your segues, bro. Yeah. Whoever could you be talking about, dude?
Well, I guess I can reveal it. He's gone by a couple of names. I know they've changed it up a few times.
Uh-huh.
The canon name, is Zenlon.
Mm-hmm.
And he's, after you beat Zoma and everything, you can, go back and kind of do all the side stuff, the post-game stuff.
Uh-huh.
And you finally make it to Zenlon, and you see this massive dragon, and at this point you're like, I've killed a few dragons. Dragon under the belt. Ain't nothing.
Uh-huh.
Now, that's the thing. You fight Zenlon, and you're like, oh, okay, I think I just stumbled into a bad scenario. Zenlon will wreck your world. He's so tough, even at max level, even if you've got 2 or 3 sages on your team, which, if anyone doesn't know, is the best class in DQ3.
Yep.
And even
I thought it was the Gadabot. Wasn't it the Gadabot? I'm just kidding.
No, you're right. You're right. Or you just goof around as a little clown or Playboy bunny or whatever. But yeah, he's extremely, or she. I think it's a she. I don't know
okay.
It's gender.
Yeah.
Zenlon, super powerful. Even at max level and everything, it's not someone I'm like, yeah, let me just go fight Zenlon for fun. I don't want to fight Zenlon.
Interesting.
Tough,
Yeah.
So, and as a kid, well, not kid, teenager, I liked Zenlon a lot more than I do now, 'cause
Okay.
I played more since then, but back then, I was like, Zenlon's the top dog. I was like, you don't mess with Zenlon.
Yeah.
That dragon will kill you.
Literally. Yeah.
So what about you, Poppy? What's your thoughts on Zenlon?
Well, honestly, I mean, I think it's a cool it's because is Zenlon in the original like Dragon Quest 3 or Dragon Warrior 3? Like, I'm not talking like the Game Boy Color version, or the SNES version, but like the original game, like the NES game. Was Zenlon in the game? No, or do you know?
I think so. I'm pretty sure Zenlon was in the NES version.
Really?
I played the NES version, but I take that back. I played an emulator of the NES version years and years ago, but I can't remember.
Okay. Well, basically, where I was going with that is like he definitely feels like the whole thing to even get to him feels like kind of like a DLC or like an expansion to the game. Like,
Good point.
well, like because like Zoma, the whole thing with Zoma still feels like it was part of the actual game, if that makes sense.
Right. No, yeah, you're right.
But Zenlon kind of feels kind of like a DLC sort of thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying like that's kind of how I felt with the whole with the whole Sky World and with the whole Zenlon battle, stuff like that. Even so though, definitely super epic, super cool way to like have like this final boss, even getting to him feels like an achievement. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And when you actually get to him, is when you find out you haven't even actually finished the achievement. but yeah, he's definitely very, very tough. Obviously on purpose. And he looks cool. It's, I mean, kind of a reskin, like you said, of past monsters, but still cool name, cool, gimmick. Well, not gimmick, but like, the whole reasoning behind Zenlong is just kind of a cool. It just feels cool, like a cool experience, like an achievement on its own. And yeah, I don't want to fight him again either, but I appreciate that it's an option. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm very curious to see what. Oh, I don't know.
I think you cut out there for a second there, Poppy.
Oh yeah, no, I thought I heard. I don't know if I heard my boy or something. Anyways, okay, we won't worry about it for now.
But before we leave Zenlong, I do want to say it's definitely worth beating him or her. Or whatever.
Yes, yeah.
It's worth beating it at least once.
Oh yeah,
because,
100%.
It grants wishes. And,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to spoil it, but one of the wishes is something your hero would definitely want.
Yeah.
So it feels like that's the golden ending.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you did that.
I agree.
You saved the world. You set everything right. For the most part.
Yeah.
You can't save everyone, but you did right. You did good.
Yeah. No, I agree, 100%. And before we officially finish with Zenlong, I will say I'm very curious to see how they actually do him in the new remake.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I'd also been wondering that because I'm not sure if you know, but because they've made DQ3 on so many different systems at this point, and it's like each one like cuts something and adds something.
Right.
We took out the Pachisi traps.
Right.
This one, or we added medals for this one, but not this one. And,
Right.
They changed it up so many times. I wonder, like, if they're just gonna like gather all the stuff like from all the DQ3 versions and like shove it into the HD 2D version. So I wonder that, I in a way I kind of hope they do, but in a certain way I don't, because the whole gathering medals aspect was terrible.
Did you actually do it?
Me? Yeah, on my Game Boy, not on. I still have. I don't play the Game Boy one anymore.
Right.
Save on my my iPad.
Oh, cool.
I still play on that one, but that one it doesn't have the medals.
Oh,
the Game
yeah.
Boy one does.
Right.
The Game Boy one, I can't deal with all that.
Yeah, it's funny because I've been replaying the games in order, and I beat Dragon Warrior 3 on the Game Boy Color just a couple months ago, and I got to that part, and I got to where I need to collect all the medals to be able to do the very last thing in the game, and at that point I was kind of like, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to do this? And I ultimately decided, I was like, you know what? No, I'm just gonna put it down, and then maybe the 2D HD remake has it, maybe it doesn't, but whatever. I'm fine. With where I'm at. So.
No, you made the right choice, because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I bet.
Back then, games didn't come out as often as they do now.
Uh-huh.
So it was like, it came out and it's like, all right, you got 6 months to play this game before any other new game you want to play comes out. So it's like, all right, you got half a year to collect all the medals.
Yep.
Nowadays, it's like, I got 1 week before this game comes out. So,
this is true. This is true.
So I'm glad they cut some of those aspects out, but I kind of hope they add some back in and maybe kind of add a little more,
Yeah. For sure. I agree. Yeah, we'll see. I'm very curious to see what they do. I really am. Because I think I've seen an article somewhere saying something about that Yuji Horii. I hope I'm not making this up, but Yuji Horii's like gonna like completely change the ending or like the end game or whatever, or like add more stuff or something like that. Like I said, I hope I didn't make that up, but
Yeah, no, that'd be cool. Even if it's like something small, just kind of connected
uh-huh.
to DQ 11 or
Ooh.
like DQ 1 or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that'd be cool. You know, because a little spoiler alert, but you know, at the end, you know, of DQ3, they call you Erdrick or whatever. You know?
Whoa.
And so it'd be cool because he's like, you know, this title, we're going to call you Erdrick.
Uh-huh.
This title hadn't been around for a long time. It'd be cool if they kind of made a reference, you know, to like DQ11 and stuff. He's the first, you know, Erdrick.
That's true.
So that would be cool, and also if they kind of hint towards like the Dragon Lord, because they kind of do in DQ3. You see the I'm not sure if you remember. There's the Dragon Queen. Or
Yep.
She lays the egg.
Yep.
And it dies.
Yep.
And that's hinted to be, you know, the Dragon Lord.
Interesting.
And it would be cool if they kind of, you know, showed maybe a little more of that, or kind of.
That would be cool.
Just something, fluff it up a little.
This is what they're gonna do. I'm predicting this right now.
Oh, let's hear it.
It's gonna do all of that, and then they're gonna say, Dragon Quest 1 and 2 2D HD remake coming soon.
Coming soon. No, you are dead right. I told my buddy about that a few weeks ago. I was sitting there talking. I was like, man, I bet at the end, like after the credits, it's gonna pop up, like, you know, and say that.
Oh, dude, that'd be so sick.
Oh man, you know that's got to be the case.
Oh yeah.
It has to be.
I think I know, dude. Plus, you know, going back, if you rewatch the live stream they did 2 years ago, Yuji Horii's team literally were like ringing bells to shut him up because he was saying like, oh yeah, I'd love to also remake 1 and 2 in this style, and his team was like,
They were like, all right, cut this guy.
shut up, Yuji Horii, shut up.
Yes, I'm glad you reminded me of that. Yes, so it's definitely, you know, I'm pretty sure it's on the agenda.
Yeah, I hope it is.
Especially with how the modern era is, we just remake everything. So, yeah,
this is true.
1 and 2, for sure.
Oh yeah, I can't
let me
wait.
ask you this, though.
What's up?
Do you like the HD 2D or whatever more than the original? Like, not the game. I'm just saying, like, that design. Are you a big fan of that?
I think it's good. That's a good question. I don't think I've thought about it enough, but I will say I do like it. I don't know if I would. I think I'd have to probably think about it a little bit more, but from what I've seen, I like it a lot.
I agree.
I like it a lot because it's cool to see like it in kind of like that style. Because I did enjoy, like, for example, Octopath Traveler. I did enjoy that game, but the only thing no, and I've talked about this on one of my live streams, but the only thing I didn't like about that game was that it just feels wrong, in the sense of like the characters models stay chibi in fights, but the enemies are all epic looking, and it just doesn't make sense to me. And so I would prefer kind of like what we saw from 2D HD remake of Dragon Quest 3, like the characters and the monsters look very, they look similar, which is what I like. It just makes more sense to me in my brain. But anyway, so
I agree. I like the glow up, honestly.
Yeah, it looks good, dude.
Some people who are like, I only want to stick to the originals, blah blah blah. But,
oh.
Me personally, if it's an update, I'm down for it.
Yeah.
And it looks good too. too. It really does.
Oh yeah,
What
it looks
they
incredible.
showed us, I think it'll be great, and I'll replay it.
Oh hell yeah,
Sure.
hell
Which,
yeah,
I mean, I know we talked about playing it together, so I might
yeah,
do that.
dude, that'd be
Play it
fun.
together.
That'd be fun. Well, because the thing is, what my thought was for that as well was, I want to try when I get the game, I want to try and actually play it as fast as possible so I can review it. And then I want to play it on stream as well, like a new playthrough on stream with like you guys, and then that be like the other experience of it. And so that was kind of my thought when that came out. But I think it'd be fun, bro. I think it'd be a good time. So
Yeah, I'd love to do that. All of us kind of get on there and kind of chat, make our choices, pick
dude,
our
yeah,
personalities and all that.
yeah,
That'd be so much fun. And I'll be honest, I really like that aspect, the whole personality thing.
Oh yeah,
Like each character has a personality, and like it kind of helps your imagination a little since the
Oh, yeah.
characters are just kind of you create them.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. And in this case, playing it the way that we're talking about is kind of cool because it's like we're actually the party members. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I 100% agree. I can't wait to do that, honestly.
dude,
I think that'll be a great time.
that'll be so much fun, dude. I'm excited. Now the game just can't come quick enough.
You said it, man. But I think we'll be waiting a little while for it, sadly.
Yeah, I agree.
How long's it been? 3 years? 2 years?
This May will be 2 years, officially 2 years since it was announced. I know. And by the time it releases, it'll be 3, but
Well, I'm just hoping that they're going to release it, and then, like, shortly after that, it's going to be DQ1 and DQ2.
Oh,
That's
dude.
kind of my hope. That
That would-
like, get them all ready at
Oh.
the same time.
oh, bro, yeah, dude.
I don't
100%.
wanna, build us up too much and expect it, but I'm kind of leaning towards that being the case.
Dude,
We'll see.
it would make sense. It would be a genuinely beautiful, surprise, but at the same time, like you said, maybe we all just kind of saw it coming, but like still we'd still be genuinely happy about it, obviously, or surprised, but
But I suppose that's enough gossiping about old DQ.
yes.
Warren old
Let's
3 out.
Yeah, let's definitely move on to 4. But I will say this: I'm pitching you an ideas. Let's see what you think.
Okay.
What if we go up to DQ5 and talk about Nimzo? We'll call it a night, and then this episode will be part 1, and then let's do part 2 and from Mortimer all the way up to Time Worm. Maybe we can record that Friday night or something.
You mean Sorrow, because we're skipping 4. You're saying do 4 and then do 5 and then call it
Yes.
quit. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, just because like at first I was like, oh, maybe we have to like kind of hurry up, but at the same time I would prefer not to, because I think this is really like good for us to like really talk about everything, and just like especially these little tangents we're going on. I think it's really good, and so I prefer not to like be like, okay, let's just go crazy, let's just hurry up and talk about all the bosses. So I don't know. What do you think?
No, I 100% agree with you, because this will be a good little bit. We're covering about half of them.
Yeah.
And then the next time you said we'll start at Mortimer, right? DQ6.
Yeah.
And then we'd go from there, and yeah, I'd say that'd be a good idea, because we don't want to, give a boss, be like rush through them and be like, we just ain't got time to talk about or go to mirror or whatever, So
Yeah.
I'd say you're right,
Cool. Let's do it. All right.
Perfect. Well, all right. Now that we've settled that, why don't we round our way up to DQ4? You want to start us off there, Poppy?
You got it, dude. Sorrow. So, okay, Mr. Sorrow, dude. By the way, I want. Do you see this name and just automatically say Sorrow as well?
Yeah. Is that not his name?
Yeah. Well, no. I say that because I always assumed it that way, but I remember I was playing with Illness, shout out to Illness, and I'm not making fun of you, bro, but I just thought this was funny. But we were playing Dragon Quest Heroes 2, and we somehow got on the topic of Sorrow, but he called him Pissarro.
Pissarro.
Yeah.
You pronounce the P?
Yeah.
Well, I love Illness as much as the next guy, but I have to say, Illness probably needs to take a couple more English lessons, although he don't pronounce the P. But I love Illness. Shout out to Illness.
Shout out to Illness, bro. But I just thought it was so funny because I thought it was like obvious that you don't pronounce the P, but he did. And I don't think I said anything at the time, but I was just kind of like, did you really pronounce the P, bro?
No, that's funny. It's like when people like mention herbs or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Call them herbs.
Uh-huh.
At the H. It's like, yeah, you're not supposed to say the H.
H is silent. H is silent. Oh, man.
Well, next time when we record with Illness, we'll have to maybe give him a English lesson or something.
I think that's a good idea. So we'll definitely go from
the next video.
Oh, yeah.
English lesson for Illness.
Yep, that'll be a good one. I think that's a good idea. Oh, man. But anyways, the point... let's get back to Sorrow. So Sorrow... Dude, Sorrow is a freaking G, bro. I mean... like... He's like literally an edgelord, like just like super, like he had like, I mean, bro, they mess with his girl, you know what I'm saying? Like they mess with his girl, you know, you don't do that, bro. And I mean, just looking at the dude, like why would you even think about messing with his girl, bro? You know? And so he's on a freaking mission to destroy mankind. And I think it's kind of funny. I know he doesn't mean to do it as a joke, but like when you see the scene and he goes in to talk to Rose and he's like, "Hey, what's up? Hey, just so you know, I'm going to kill everyone and everything in existence. All right, see you later." And then he just leaves, and it's like, holy shnikes, bro. And then, yeah, it's kind of funny, but, like, I know he doesn't mean it to be funny, but, like, for me, it's just kind of funny. But, yeah, dude, awesome design. Just probably honestly, probably the coolest design from, like, a final boss.
Well, let me ask you this.
Oh, sure.
You like his human form or his monster form?
I mean, his human form is... Well, no, his human form is definitely the coolest one. I think, in my opinion. He just looks so freaking cool, dude. But anyways, awesome character design. You know, great motivation for actually being evil, you know? And I know he has like I guess it's a spoiler, but I know he has like a redemption arc and everything, which I've never played that chapter, so I'm excited to play it actually. But yeah, overall, I mean, Sorrow is just dope. And I'm gonna have to ask you a question because I honestly forgot, and this might be a dumb question, but
no, go ahead.
So Sorrow, and I guess this might be a little bit of a spoiler, but I'm almost there in DQ4 right now in the mobile version. But is he the one that transforms into Estark?
All right. Let me explain.
Okay.
Estark, there's the like the evolution thing.
Right.
Perfect evolution.
Right.
And Estark existed long before Sorrow.
Right.
He mastered it. He was the only one who had been known to like master it and did it, and he became, Estark, a big monster.
Right.
And he was defeated and sealed away for a long time.
Right.
And then, years later, Sorrow, he learns of the little evolution thing, and so he seeks it out, because, of his personal issues. So he's not turning into Estark. He's evolving, because S-Dark is supposedly like the peak of like
Oh,
like the peak evolution. Like that's what
gotcha.
evolution is supposed to lead to, is S-Dark as the perfect being supposedly.
Mm.
So when he does it, he doesn't, he doesn't do it as well as S-Dark did it.
Oh,
S-Dark
gotcha.
like fully mastered it, but Sorrow didn't. That's why when you see him, he's kind of like still evolving and
Oh,
changing and all that stuff.
okay, makes sense.
But yeah, so that's why he looks a lot like S-Dark when he evolves or whatever, because he's trying to mimic what S-Dark did, but only,
Gotcha.
due to everything that happened to him. At first, he didn't really want to actually take that final step.
Yeah,
He knew he'd change.
yeah, yeah. But either way, it was still definitely a tough fight. And at least from what I remember, I could be wrong. I know S-Dark was a pain in the freaking butt. Like I legit remember fighting S-Dark being like one of the hardest boss battles, like in any game. um, but I'll be honest, I genuinely don't remember how difficult Sorrow was.
I kind of remember. I know I didn't have too much trouble with him
Okay,
compared
okay,
to some other bosses. Sorrow, he was kind of a pushover, to be honest.
okay, okay, okay.
But it doesn't mean I don't like him. I
Right,
love
absolutely.
his whole character arc, how what he's trying to go out and do, and I love the whole post game, the redemption part.
Mm.
And I should tell you this, since you're getting close to that part, when you do get to the redemption part, put him as your like first character, and if you talk to certain people, they'll give you unique dialogue.
Ooh, thank you. Good to know.
Yeah, because they'll see, it's Sorrow of
Right.
talking to him, so a lot of them, will freak out, but certain characters respect him. So
Ooh.
like, oh my god, like it's Sorrow of all people.
Interesting. No, that's really.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm
Yeah,
excited
you
now.
have to like just kind of go to different towns and talk to people to see who it all is. I can't remember which all characters react, but a lot
Right.
of them do. It's I'm glad they put that into the game to be like, okay, well if you decide to put him in front and talk to people,
Yeah.
change up the dialogue.
I love how Dragon Quest always kind of pays attention to those little details. It's super cool.
Yes, that honestly makes the game for me, like party chat, and I hate that DQ4 didn't have the party chat in most versions.
Yeah.
And I'm ashamed of myself for this, but I've never played it on the phone where it has the the party chat. So I've had to like look up like what the party chat
Oh,
is
interesting.
online, because I'm like, man, I want to see what like they're talking
Yeah.
about and everything, but yeah, so I've missed out on some of that.
And that's another big reason why I'm excited that I'm playing the mobile version, because I'm getting that experience, right, of like the party chat, which has been really cool. Because the first time I played on the DS, so I missed that as well, like the majority of people have. So.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. Man, that's a shame. And I'll say this, a little off topic, but when they make DQ12, I kind of hope they don't do it like that, or like how they did DQ11. Like, here's the regular version.
Oh yeah, like the vanilla version.
Updated version. It's like, come on. I gotta buy the game again.
Yeah.
The game again.
Bro, and maybe they're taking a little bit more time to avoid that. Maybe.
That'd be great. And I don't mind if they want to like add like DLCs or something.
Right.
That'd be fine.
Oh yeah.
I want them to come out with the game and then a year later, like, all right, yeah.
Here's the S version.
Yeah, you gotta buy the S version.
Gosh dang it, Yuji Ori.
Which I'm glad for DQ11 I kind of predicted it.
Oh, nice.
Yes, that's what they were gonna do. So I'm give it some time, and then when they came out with the the final version, I got that.
There you go. Yeah, I actually waited to buy 11S as well, just because. Well, mostly I wanted to play it on the Nintendo Switch, so I was like, I'm just gonna wait until it comes out on the Switch, which is what I did, and I played the other games while I was waiting, which for me I thought it was perfectly fine, but yeah, I basically did that as well. So.
Nice. Nice. You did it back when the demo came out or whatever.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, that's when I did it too. The demo
Yep.
came out. I was like, well, I might as well go ahead and get myself kind of far into the game, so when it comes out, I can just bolt to the finish line.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That was a good demo. That was.
Oh
Really
yeah,
good demo,
dude, I loved it.
honestly.
I enjoyed it so much.
I think it took you all the way to what Serena and Veronica
Uh-huh.
area.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then
that super good.
yeah.
Even if someone's not into Dragon Quest, if they were to play that, they'd be like, "Wow, like that was a good demo," and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
enough to make you want to get the real game.
Oh yeah, dude. That's why I literally, anytime anybody asks on Reddit, you know how popular I am on Reddit.
Don't remind me.
Anytime anyone asks on Reddit, and because it happens, maybe once a week or a couple times a week, but someone will be like, "Hey, new to Dragon Quest, what should I play?" And I always say like, "Bro, play 11S. You can play it literally on anything, but play the free demo, try it out, see what you think, bam." But I always say that because the demo is just so good, so.
No, that's the perfect response, honestly. Because if they don't like the demo, then they're not gonna like any Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
But if they like the demo, then they'll play the game, and at that point, they might just become a lifetime fan.
Exactly.
It's great,
That would be amazing.
It's always been kind of saddening to me that in America we don't have as many fans here. It's more Final Fantasy,
I know. Final poop fantasy. Just kidding.
Don't get me wrong. When I was younger, I did like Final Fantasy. but,
Respect.
Nowadays, nah, I don't play any Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
It's not my type of game.
Yeah, I always thought the idea of Final Fantasy was cool, but I never really like actually liked it enough to I played 15 all the way through, which was cool. It was a cool experience, but it wasn't. Dragon Quest is like, I love it. It's just perfect sort of thing. But yeah.
No, you're exactly right. Final Fantasy feels like a game. Dragon Quest feels like a world.
Ooh, that's a good way of putting it.
I like to think I'm a little clever with my words.
Yeah, look at you, man. Freaking Mr. Monkey, dude. This guy.
But yeah, I know we got a little off tangent there. But, yeah, I do love Sorrow. Cool design.
Yeah,
and
100%.
cool character. Like I said, he's not the toughest boss
Mm-hmm.
in the galaxy, but I like his story.
Mm-hmm.
I love how you know of him throughout the whole game.
Oh, yeah.
Someone you hear of, you fear.
Yep.
It's like, oh yeah, Sorrow. He was gonna fight you in this arena.
Uh-huh.
Not to.
Yep. It's cool
It's
because
just like,
I'm kind of at that point right now in DQ4, and one of the party chats with Elena, what she did say, she's like, I wonder if I would have beat Sorrow in the tournament, and it's kind of cool to get that little dialogue from her.
I'm
But
so glad you told me that, because like I said, I never got to play it on the phone version, so I've missed out on most of the dialogue.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
Man, yeah, that's so cool, because I always wanted to hear, what their thoughts were, Tornico, what Tornico's thoughts when I'm sitting there talking to his wife and his kid and everything, visiting home. Which also, if you, remember how I mentioned earlier, if you switch to Sorrow first and talk to people, if you switch to Tornico and talk to, his family and stuff, they have different dialogue.
Oh, interesting. I
Yeah.
don't think I've had him in first place when I talked to his family, but I think I had him in the party. But I'll have to try that because now I'm kind of curious to see what the dialogue would be like. Oh, you know what? I think maybe I did do it. I think his wife was kind of like, well, Tornico, since you've been gone for so long, just kind of yelling at him a little bit.
They might have changed up what they say in the different versions, but I think in the 3DS version or DS version or whatever, I think when you talk to her or whatever, she kind of mentions how you've been gone. Talk to your kid, how he misses you and everything. It's like, too bad, kiddo and wife. I'm off adventuring with cool cats. I'm about to save the world and fight some demons.
This is true.
I thought you were just a merchant, but all right.
Yeah, seriously. Freaking Tornico, bro.
I'll be honest, I never had Tornico in my main party.
No, yeah.
Fighting.
Yeah, the moment you get a fifth party member, Tornico's getting benched.
So true.
He's also the one you leave behind in Femis Cry or whatever when you have to leave somebody in jail.
Oh, if you play it as a girl, it goes differently, right?
Really?
Yeah, if you go to Femescria or however it's pronounced, because you're a woman, if you play as the woman character, it goes differently. They don't hassle you and everything.
Interesting. I didn't even realize that, but that makes total sense.
Yeah, very interesting. And I'm glad they had, like I said, they're really good on the details of like
Seriously.
think of, but they're on top of their game. But yeah, if you switch or not switch, you can't
Right.
switch randomly.
Right.
Pick the girl hero at the beginning, and when you get to Femescria, they don't hassle you and everything. Like,
Interesting.
Oh, you gotta be a girl to be entering here and blah blah blah. It's like, come on in.
Wow, that's super cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you ever get a chance, do play it as the female character.
Yeah.
It's a nice little change. You know, not everything's changed, but you
Right.
get a couple little cool differences.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I definitely would like to see the differences, so that's definitely cool. Cool little fact there. But yeah, that's what's up.
Perfect. Well, I suppose we've ran Sorrow dry. Sorrow, the manslayer.
The manslayer. Yep.
So, and I know we briefly touched up on Estar, but he's in a few games, so
yes.
give him his what he deserves. You know, he deserves nice talking about.
Yeah, I agree. So his design is super cool. Super cool. And I think I actually remember the animation of when he like wakes up, which was pretty epic as well, if I remember correctly. It's funny. I always kind of maybe I think about it too much, but sometimes I always kind of think about like because a lot of the enemies in Dragon Quest have weapons, but where did they get those weapons from? Did somebody make those weapons for them? Did they make them themselves? Like, you know?
That's such a good point. I never thought of that.
Like Estark, where did he get those swords, bro? Did he make them, or like, did they just appear in his hands? You know?
When he evolved, he grew those swords. That's perfect.
They're part of him.
Swords.
Either way, it's cool. It's just, my brain kind of goes into that, too logical sometimes. But I will say, in terms of difficulty, I definitely remember him being a pain in the ass. And I apologize for saying ass, but I remember, man, like, oh my gosh, it took me so many tries, and then I remember I'd fail, and I was like, okay, I guess I just have to grind. And so I'd go and I'd grind a little bit, come back, try it again. I think I also then realized, because I didn't know about isn't there like a horn or something you can play where you can actually get all the characters in the fight?
Like you blow the horn, your caravan shows up?
Yeah.
I can't recall, but it sounds familiar. It's been quite a while since I battled old Stark.
Yeah. So I think that was the thing too that I didn't know about at first, and then eventually I figured it out, which helped. But still, I vividly remember this battle being literally it's definitely, if not, honestly, it might be the hardest battle I've had in all the Dragon Quest games. Like for sure. Like, so it's definitely in the top 3. It's definitely the top 3 like hardest boss fights. Like for me personally, So.
That makes sense. I will say this: DQ4 Stark, he's tough. He's tough. He's the toughest one in my opinion. DQ4. By the time you reach him, you're not expecting to face someone that powerful.
Right.
But that's sadly not his toughest. And his toughest is when he appears in DQ8 post game.
Yes.
A couple of games. He appears in like DQ5, where you can get his son if you
Yeah,
beat him
yeah.
and everything. Starks, which is cool. I love his little son. He's a
Yeah.
good guy.
Yeah.
But S-Star, I don't know if you fought him in DQ8.
No. I've seen videos, and my God.
Oh, that is the hardest DQ battle I've ever had.
Oh, wow.
Ever. Even when you beat him the first time, he's a little easier the first time.
Okay.
You get an item from that doubles your damage.
Oh, right.
And then you're kind of cocky at that point. You're like, okay, I'm gonna face S Stark and I'm gonna whoop him down. Nah, you're not. S Stark, he's gonna show you who he really is. He's gonna spank you.
He's gonna spank you. Freaking S Stark.
he's beyond tough. Yeah, there's only a couple of other bosses who had about that difficulty. But S Stark, he truly evolved into the Giga Chad.
Giga S Stark, dude. Dude, yeah. Holy crap.
Yeah. The only thing I dislike about S Stark is that we don't ever really get much backstory on him. He's not like a big presence on the story.
Okay.
It's more just like a side thing. Like, oh, here's S Stark.
I was literally gonna ask you if there was any backstory on S Stark, in the sense of like, because supposedly he's like the ultimate evolution. But what was his first form? Like, was he a human? Was he an elf? It's
hinted that he was a human at first.
Oh, interesting.
It's hinted that he was a human at first. He became, S Stark. He was defeated long ago by the Zenithian dragon. And sealed away.
Right.
And, then DQ5 takes place after, so he's even more powerful then when you face him. But he's still like sealed away in the underworld or whatever.
Wow.
And then by the time you face him in DQ8, it's implied that this is him like even way later on.
Wow.
And the story behind him appearing in DQ8, since they're different universes than the Zenith trilogy, is when you defeat the Dragovian Lord or whatever. He's like, I can grant you a wish, and you're like, I want to face someone who's tough. Or whatever. He's like, all right. He's like, you want to do that, huh? He's like, all right, I'll give you something tough. And so he pretty much makes like a dungeon that leads to kind of like the underworld in a sense, And so, that's how you face
cool.
S-Stark. You have to defeat all your previous bosses, which have been beefed up, and then you face S-Stark.
Damn.
And I don't ever want to face him again.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, I don't know, because I'm still in the Dragovian Trials in my Dragon Quest VIII playthrough, for my second playthrough. And I do want to I want to beat as much as possible that's not like ridiculously stupid, like the whole Stella thing.
Yes, I was just about to say that. I was like, that's the one thing of that game I hate. Is that everything else I've done, that I did like half of it, and I was like, you know what? Screw that. I'm tired of searching for this little fairy.
Yeah, I remember reading it and everything, and I was just like, this sounds like the stupidest thing. And so I was like, screw that. And so
Not worth it.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
So whenever I do go back, I do want to at least do the rest of the Dragovian Trials, and maybe even try and fight S Stark at least once,
Yes, at least once, yeah. Then
So,
you say you've beaten it. But
yep.
I will say this, if your characters are max level for the Dragovian Trials, it's not hard. It's pretty easy, to be honest. Once they're all 99, just go in there with like the hero, Red, Jessica, and maybe Angelo. Yeah.
Okay.
Angelo in there.
Okay.
Yeah, you can
Solid support, solid attack. So.
But as for S Stark, there's no hope. You just gotta hope that he, I don't know, screws up something.
It's basically RNG at that point.
Yeah, literally. That's the only time This is such just luck. You know?
Yeah.
It's a hassle.
That's funny. I will say it's cool that they still like gave him a little bit more backstory in the sense of from what you're explaining with like, you know, in 5 he's like it's like further in the future, so he's a little bit stronger, and then in 8 he's basically reached Giga Chad, you know, like you were saying. And I think it's cool that they did that with him. I think that's pretty cool. But
no, I agree because you know his whole thing was he was supposed to be like the peak of evolution.
right.
He was supposed to be like he's like Cell from Dragon
Oh
Ball
yeah,
Z.
yeah, that's a cool.
Yeah, he's trying to get his perfect form.
Yeah, that's a cool
so
comparison.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both like bugs.
Yeah. Yep.
So, so it makes sense, but yeah, that makes sense with that start with him being so tough because he's like the peak of evolution.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
respect him. I like his design. I don't like his design in DQ4. His color, what was it, blue or something? It's orange.
Right.
In DQ4, it's like blue or something.
Oh yeah.
Sorrow is green when he evolves.
Right.
S-Stark, because he hadn't been evolved as long as when you meet him in later games. He's like blue or something.
Oh, interesting.
I forget the name of it. Whatever the insect exosskeleton's called, it like hardens more and it turns brown.
Oh.
He's stronger in the later ones. But yeah, I always thought that was interesting.
Huh. Yeah, like I said, I don't really remember, so I'm almost there though. So I'll get to witness Blue S Stark, but yeah,
Nice.
we'll see.
You have to let me know what the party else is, because like I said, I missed out on the party chat.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely keep you updated.
Nice. Well,
I'm excited.
I suppose we gave S Stark his due. Is there something else you want to honor him with?
No. I think we got him. We got him good. So.
Perfect. Well, I suppose we should get to the main man of the game, the true sort of final boss.
Yes.
And, I suppose I'll let you start us off on that character.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's going to be quick because, again, I actually have not played the last chapter. So
you never faced Amon or however his name is.
No, I have not. So that's the third one added to the list that I have not fought.
Puppy.
I know. I'm so sorry. I'm disappointing everyone out there. I'm so sorry.
Well, it does mention him throughout the game a little.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
He's Sorrow's like right hand man. So I
Yeah.
don't know if it like brought him up a few times.
Yeah. So basically, where I'm at currently, I just barely finished the Diabolic Hall or whatever, and if you go to a certain part in the castle, there's 2 monsters that are talking, and they mention, Amon or Amon or whatever, and they're like, yeah, he's planning on doing it or whatever, blah blah blah, and then they're like, oh, somebody's coming, act natural, the monsters say all that, and then then you go up and they're like, what's up? We're just chilling. What's up, dude?
Just hanging out.
Yeah.
Talking about killing Sorrow.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So he is mentioned beforehand. But yeah, I never faced him, unfortunately. So tell us about him, Mr. Monkeys. What do you think?
Well, I'll be honest. He doesn't have a huge impact on my memory. It was like I never thought much of him. It was like, oh, this is Sorrow's, second in command. So I, the first time I'm playing through it, I'm thinking like, okay, I'm sure I'll kill him, and then I'll end up killing Sorrow. Well, it turns out he's really manipulative. He's controlling Sorrow. He's controlling events while acting like a second in command. But truthfully, he wants Sorrow to get murdered by the heroes so he can take over.
Oh, interesting.
And so, do you want me to say spoilers here? I know you hadn't fought him yet, but I can say them or I can leave them out if you wish.
I'm cool with hearing it. I don't mind at all. But if you want, we can say spoilers just for those that haven't played it.
Okay, well, spoilers are upcoming.
There you go.
But yes, when you play the game the first time. The final boss is, Sorrow or whatever. Pretty much you beat him and all that. And the second time you beat it, the post game is when you save his girlfriend or whatever, Rose.
Right.
That's yeah.
Baby girl Rose.
And,
yeah.
You save baby girl Rose, and so she manages to redeem him, pull him back from the edge. Because the reason he uses the evolution thing in the first place is because he's like, fine, they took everything from me.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna take everything from them.
Right.
But he used the evolution thing because he thinks she's dead, but then she shows up right after,
Mm-hmm.
he managed to overcome it. And so at that point, you learn who set her up to be killed was Eamon. He set her up to die because he knew if Sorrow lost her,
Interesting. Look at
Eamon,
that.
He didn't want to face, Sorrow while he's, he's got his mind
Evolving and stuff.
But if Sorrow's all crazy and everything, it's like, no biggie. I can overthrow him.
Interesting.
So Eamon, like I said, he was never someone I thought much about in the game. And even when I think back to DQ4, Eamon is like at the back of my mind. I think of Sorrow, down to Stark, and then I have to think for a minute. And I'm like, oh yeah,
there's that one guy.
little sidekick. So he's interesting. It was definitely interesting because DQ it does that a lot. How it like kind of throws a curveball at you. Oh, you thought this was the final boss. Well, it's actually this. And so it's a bit of a curveball to find out that his right hand man was kind of controlling things from behind the scenes. But it was so nice when you finally go confront Eamon with Sorrow, and then Eamon's just like, oh god.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
He tries to act confident, but you can tell he's like, oh my goodness, this is it. So it's definitely fun, putting him down and getting the happy ending and everything.
Cool.
Sorrow's happy, you're happy, so worth it. And as for the design of Eamon, he has a couple designs. He has his like a demon form, and then he has his evolution form.
Oh, interesting.
He also uses the evolution thing.
Oh,
like
okay.
Stark, and his is like a blue, like white kind of version.
Interesting.
And I do like it. I think it's very cool looking. I like his evolution form more than I like Sorrow's evolution.
Okay.
But his normal form, ugly. He looks like some old elf man. It's just like, I probably wouldn't let him around any kids, to be honest. He might take one off. And he looks like a bad dude. He's just ugly, old, and creepy. So, I'm not a fan of Eamon. But, he did his job, I guess.
Yeah.
He did well.
Yeah. No, and it sounds like, honestly, like he fits in really well in the whole story. It gives the story more depth, more twists, more turns, sort of thing. So I think that, and again, I haven't faced him personally, but just from hearing what happened because of him, I think that he fits in really cool, in a cool way in this world. So
100% agreed, and saying how it fits in, I like that he's the final ending,
right?
And like Sorrow or Stark, because Stark, like I said, you don't really know much about him, and Sorrow, you know a lot about him, but he's not like evil. He's just kind of lost his way.
Yeah.
And he's not human, so killing humans would be like a human killing like a cow or something. His, eyes.
Yeah.
It's like it's not his species, so he's not like out murdering.
Yeah. That's true. That's a good point.
So from his point of view, he knows he's not the best guy. He knows he's a bit thorny. But he's interesting. I like Sorrow a lot, but I like that Eamon's the final villain because he's a monster. He needs to be put down.
Yeah, and I think what you just said makes the most sense. He's a monster, and that's the thing. He's actually a monster. Like Sorrow Sorrow is not, right? And so he evolved into a monster, but Eamon and everything he's done is because he's actually a monster. And so, again, it just kind of, gives the character a lot of depth. So it's really cool. I like it a lot. Very awesome. I'm excited to fight him.
And to be honest, talk about how like he's a monster and he became more of a monster. It kind of parallels how they are as characters. Like Sorrow, he's not a monster, which is how his personality is. He's not a monster. He's not evil. He's just, he's mixed up and it kind of portrays like how he looks. Like he doesn't look fully human. He looks human enough, and that's kind of like how his personality is. Like he's kind of human, kind of not. And it's not till he finally, jumps off the edge, becomes, fully evil. He's a monster. He's like 0% human.
Right.
And that's when he's at his most evil.
Right.
As for Eamon, he was always a monster.
Right.
So he remains a monster.
That's true.
I think it's a nice little deeper storytelling. Like if someone were to kind of look into it,
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. Like I said, I'm excited to actually fight him and take down his manipulative, ugly, wrinkly butt.
Well, I'm thinking you might admire him a little. You might see better aspects of him than I did.
Okay.
You might be like, well, those wrinkles, they suit him.
They actually work pretty well on him. That's funny.
Oh, man. But I guess that's about for Eamon. Like I said, he's just the little sidekick who turned evil. Evil Robin to the Batman.
Yep, and he wanted all the glory. Typical Robin, dude. Freaking Robin. Just stay in your lane, buddy.
Oh, man. Preach it.
That's funny.
But yeah. I suppose we ought to make our way to one of the best games. I say that in my opinion, but I'm saying it in most other people's, from what I've heard. Opinions. They typically say DQ5 is, like top dog.
Oh, yeah.
Best games. And I agree. Just with the story, it takes you through some pain.
Yeah.
That's probably the only, besides a little bit of DQ11, DQ5, where it felt like I was the underdog. A little bit of DQ11, the second act.
Right.
DQ5, like all of that, I felt like I was always the underdog. And it makes sense because you're not the hero.
Right. Yep, that's a good point.
It's very interesting because you're not the hero, and so it's like, okay, yeah, it makes sense why I'm struggling so hard. Life's going terribly for me, and it makes you think of all these other characters in past games where you've played the hero, but you see all these other people suffer, and now you're not playing the hero, and now you have to suffer.
Yeah, that's deep. That's very deep.
Thank you, Poppy. But yeah, that's just kind of my opinion on DQ5. But I suppose let's get to the whole main villain. If you want to start us off there, Poppy.
Sure. So I'll say this. I think. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm getting emotional here. I'm going to be 100% honest. And I know that DQ5 is regarded as a lot of people's favorites. And I know it's an amazing game, and it is. But when we're talking about Nimzo specifically, he's probably one of the most forgettable final bosses, in my opinion.
I agree. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Mostly because the thing is, like, compared to Sorrow, compared to even Zoma has more, especially Hargon. Nimzo, you don't like, there's nothing about him at all until you actually fight him.
Right.
Like,
I'm glad you said that.
Like,
that'll come into my point.
Yeah, and what's his puppet's name, or like his Baramos's name? Laja?
The guy that causes all that trouble for you?
Yeah. Lodja. That's the one I'm talking about. So
He's like the sorcerer, isn't there like a horse guy or something?
yeah. So Lodge's at least in like from my memory, I could be wrong, but Lodja seems to be kind of like the top like prophet or top like main bad guy, and then the other ones are kind of like answering to Lodja, and then or maybe I'm just saying it incorrectly because I've seen the movie a lot, and it was it's been yeah I know that's a whole subject on its own.
Yeah, we'll talk about that another video.
Yeah, but in the movie, for example, Lodge is the basically the main bad guy before Nimzo. But I don't remember if that's the case in Dragon Quest V, the game. But I apologize for that. But basically, Lodja and all the bad guys. Excuse me, goodness gracious. I'm just getting so emotional, dude. I don't know why. Jeez.
Keep it together, Poppy.
Oh man, I think I've drank so much water. IAI is gonna go nuts on the comments, just saying water.
Oh, do you have your camera on? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
Drinking water.
Yeah.
He's gonna call you out.
Oh yeah. Shout out to you, IAI. But basically, it just felt like all these other bad guys were the actual bad guys, and then Nimzo just kind of felt like. Literally, he just kind of felt like he came out of nowhere, But like, even it was like he even had less of an impact compared to Malroth in my memory. You know what I mean? Like Malroth, we don't see him until we literally fight him, but Nimzo, I feel like even had less build-up, if that makes sense. Like, and I could be totally wrong because I haven't played this game for a really long time, but. That's just kind of the impressions I felt. Like when you fight Nimzo, it's kind of just like he's like, hey, what's up? It's time. Let's get this on, And it's like I feel, and I could be wrong, but I feel like he's got like the least amount of dialogue out of any bad final boss ever.
Well, I think Malroth literally said nothing. So I think
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point. But anyway, so I could be totally wrong. I could be just talking too much crap, and I don't mean to. And this doesn't reflect on my opinion on the game. I love the game, but since we're talking specifically on the final boss of the game, I just feel like this one's the least memorable in my memory. So, anyways, there you go.
Okay, yeah, I have to agree. He's not super memorable. If I think of DQ5, I typically think of Lodja just because
Yeah.
it personally causes so much grief.
Oh yeah,
to you.
seriously.
And honestly, I was so glad when Lodja died. I was like, whoever
Yeah.
dies after him, I don't care. I was like, as far as I'm concerned, I've won.
Yeah.
Lodja's dead.
100%, dude.
But I like Nimzo because they portray him as like a chess master.
Interesting.
And that's kind of like what they're going for with him, as in like he's controlling all his pawns and everything.
Oh.
That's why you got like Bishop Lodge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
all these little things, and when you talk to him, he from what I read and everything over the years, he when you talk to him, the words are written in Cyrillic rather than the Latin alphabet. And
Right.
the Cyrillic alphabet is from more like Russia and stuff, and they're known for their chess masters. And
Oh.
so it kind of based him off like a chess master, and it
Interesting.
setting all these things up, but he didn't have to get involved. He just moves the boards, moves the pieces across the board, and you just have to deal with what he does.
Interesting.
And so he's not one of those bosses who's going to get down and dirty with you. He's going to sit back and he's going to ruin you because he's smarter than you, And
Interesting.
because DQ5 is chronologically the last part of the Zenithian trilogy,
Right.
and so the whole evolution thing come about until in between 6 and 4.
Mm.
Start did it, and then 4 comes about and gains popularity. But then your hero defeats them, and then Nimso, he knows of the past. He knows of how the hero, won and all that stuff. So that's why he goes about trying to kill all the descendants at the beginning of the game, of the hero. And so that's why the 3 descendants at the beginning of the game are kind of under different identity, which, spoiler alert, is the women you marry. Nira, Bianca, and Deborah, they're all, descended from the hero of 4.
Right.
And that's why they were all adopted,
Mm.
So it's to hide their identity so that, they're not sought out by Nimso or anything like that.
Mm.
And it's very, very clever and very smart of him. He's, I'd say, the smartest, villain. There's more that are powerful than him or that might, get one over on you.
Right.
He's the smartest, as in he literally was, every time you do something, it's like, oh, sorry, Nimso was already ahead of you, and he already sent someone to, mess this up. And it's like, man, God, whoever this guy is, he is screwing me every which way.
Wow.
And so, he's a tough boss. I'll say that. He's pretty tough. Not the hardest, but I remember struggling against him a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say that he definitely he was I remember him being tougher than basically kind of like in the middle, not the toughest but not the easiest as well. But I will also say that honestly, and maybe I just rushed through 5, but I didn't know about any of that stuff. And so I just didn't realize it. And so now that you say that, it definitely makes my respect for him just shot through the roof, basically. But yeah, very cool. Very cool, honestly.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know you'd kind of missed out on a couple of those little details, but they definitely flesh him out. Like you said, he doesn't make like a grand appearance in the story or nothing. But, that's because they're portraying him as like a mastermind.
Right.
It's like, why get involved when I can just send an underling
to
do the same thing and not risk myself?
Right.
And
which,
so
again, is so smart.
He outsmarted you pretty much every turn, and he defeated you pretty much at every turn until you finally beat him,
Wow.
It's like, oh, you're happy with your parents? It's like, oh,
jeez,
you're a slave? Yeah, that's rough. Oh, you're not a slave anymore. Well, we got a few more tricks up our sleeve. It's like, oh, you're finally married, have kids, we'll see about that.
Goodness
like,
gracious.
And then after that, after all that, you finally find your mother. And then he takes that from you, too.
Goodness. Yeah.
But, yeah, Nimzo, he was always a step ahead of you. And I felt like you never really outsmarted him. You just overpowered him.
Oh, yeah.
So
Interesting.
I respect him for that, because in a way you never beat him. I mean, yes, physically you did.
Yeah.
But you never really overcame his games,
Yeah. Literally. And you, I think you hit the nail on the head again. You never actually, you never beat him. You just overpowered him. I think that's like a perfect way of saying, of putting that, because I mean, even if he did lose, technically it's kind of like the saying, he might have lost the battle, but he definitely won the war. I mean, he messed you up so bad.
So true. And honestly, if they made a sequel to the Zenithian trilogy, which would take place after DQ5,
mm-hmm.
If there was a villain, as smart as him and looked back, reflected on Nimso, they would be a villain to be reckoned with, because okay, Nimso almost won. If I just kind of implement those ideas, but if I'm just a little more powerful, maybe I can, succeed. And at that point
bro.
in time, there's not many descendants left of the hero. You got Nira, who, if you don't choose her, she might have a kid with Crispin. And, whoever your wife is. So you got 2 kids, and if you don't choose Nira, she might have a kid somewhere down the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at that point in time, that's just a few people with the legendary blood able to steal.
That's a good point.
So I think if they ever made a sequel to that, which I'm hoping they do, it would be a dark game, which is what they said. DQ12 would be.
Yeah.
That's what I'm kind of thinking. It's like, well, that's a dark timeline. It's like the Zenithian Dragon's weakened. He's lost most of his power by that point, and the heroes are almost all gone. So we'll see. We'll see. That's just kind of my opinion.
Dude, yeah, honestly, and I think it's a really cool opinion, and it would be awesome if that came to be the actual situation. But yeah, bro, love it.
Man, well, I suppose that's all the villains there. Unless you had anything more to say about old Enzo there.
No, I have nothing else, and I will say this as well. This is by far the longest episode I have recorded. And the crazy thing is, we only got halfway done. This is crazy to me. Crazy.
When the convo's just flowing, what can you do?
It's true. Bro, this is what happens when 2 Giga Bros start talking, bro.
You're so right, man. It's just, it's been good convo, and I felt like we got good points out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And anyone who sees this, they're going to say, hey, those 2 guys, they know something about Dragon Quest.
Absolutely. And if you guys made it this far into this episode, we applaud you. First things first. Second, thank you so much. Drop a comment if you actually made it to this part of the episode. And basically, like we talked about a little bit earlier, this is going to be like part 1 of the topic of, what we talked about. And then part 2 will come out maybe right after this one. It kind of depends on when we record again. But besides that, I have nothing else to say for now. What about you, Mr. Bundles of Monkeys?
Well, I suppose I don't have anything more to say about them. We laid them out pretty well. We described, a good bit of them. So I think everyone's got a good feel of the bosses and everything. And if they don't, well, I guess they're just going to have to go to Wikipedia or something.
There you go. Yep, that's very true. And if you did have any questions, definitely let us know. We'd love to try and answer them. Obviously, Bundles of Monkeys' knowledge of the final bosses is superior to mine, which I don't mind at all. But but yeah, just drop a comment and we'll definitely chat about it. But definitely let us know what you guys thought about the episode. Again, shout out to you, Mr. Bundles of Monkeys, for being on this episode. I sincerely appreciate you. And I need to have you back for sure. But even after that, I would love to have you on the show as much as you'd like. So, but yeah.
Yeah, man. Whenever you're down again, I'm down again. If it's later this week, then that's the case. We'll do it.
Let's do it, bro. I love it. Cool. Well, guys, is there anything you want to plug, Mr. Monkeys?
I suppose I'll put in a little plug for Dragon Quest Tact.
Yeah.
Not enough people, play it. I feel, and it's a good game. It's better than you would think with being just a little phone mobile game.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
So, if you're a Dragon Quest fan, or if you're just kind of a little bit into strategy, maybe a little anime or something, try it out. It's worth it, and we have a great guild. And
we do.
Maybe throw our guild name down in the description or something.
I will do that.
And,
yeah.
If you're down and you want to join a good community, come join us. We'll help you out. We'll be there for you any way we can.
Respect. And I'll say the guild. And then like Bundle said, I'll put the name in the comments or the description of this video. But Los Papitos. So LOSPIPITOS. Los Papitos. Come join us.
Or is
P-A-P... Did I say P-I?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I'm sorry. Los Papitos. P-A-P-I-T-O-S. Papitos. Yeah, Los Papitos. I can't even spell in my own freaking...
You're trying to send them to our competition.
Oh, yeah. Don't go there. Don't go there, guys. Cool. All right. Well, thank you guys all for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace!